You know that feeling? Soft morning light filtering into your room, maybe gently waking you up,
Hmm.
or that sudden, unexpected chill that reveals a subtle draft somewhere in the evening.
I know that one.
Or perhaps just the simple, really comforting act of gazing out at the world from the warmth of your home. Windows.
They're everywhere.
Exactly. They are so fundamental to our daily lives, so common, so much a part of our architecture, that we often just take them completely for granted.
We really do.
We
Yeah.
look through them, we open and close them, we clean them, sometimes maybe reluctantly. But how much do we really know about them? About their journey, their engineering, or even the surprising ways they shape our environments?
That's the question, isn't it?
Okay, let's unpack this. You might think you know what a window is, and you probably do on a surface level, but trust me, this deep dive is going to make you look at them in a whole new light.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
We're talking ancient history, hidden complexities beneath those seemingly simple frames, and some really clever modern innovations.
And not just the windows themselves, right?
Absolutely not. And of course, we can't forget the vast, often overlooked world of window treatments that complete their story. They really transform a functional opening into like a curated portal to the outside world.
What's truly fascinating here, I think, is how something so fundamental and seemingly simple has such a rich, often overlooked story.
Mm-hmm.
And a surprising depth of technical detail.
Right.
We'll connect the dots from their earliest, most primitive forms, basically holes, to their sophisticated function in contemporary design. And as you'll soon discover, we'll even explore how the very concept of a window has evolved in some truly unexpected, cross-disciplinary ways.
That's right. Our source material for this deep dive is a really comprehensive presentation. It breaks down pretty much everything you could want to know about windows and their treatments.
It covers a lot of ground.
It really does. It ranges from their ancient origins through the intricate components that make up a modern window, the surprising array of different types you find in architecture, all the way to modern design considerations, and even the precise art of measurement for window treatments. It's detailed stuff.
So our mission today is to transform your understanding of something as deceptively simple as a window.
Exactly.
By the end of this deep dive, you'll gain, hopefully, a richer appreciation for their evolution, their ingenious engineering, and critically, how they shape our environments, both inside and out.
We're going to uncover fascinating facts and practical insights you might never have considered. It should help you see the world, and maybe your home, in a new way.
Let's do it.
All right, let's jump right in. We're starting with what seems like the most obvious question, but actually has more layers than you might think. The very essence of a window. What is a window, really, beyond just being a hole in the wall?
Indeed. At its most fundamental level, a window is defined as an opening in a wall, a door, a roof, or even, a vehicle.
Right.
Its primary, most obvious purpose is to allow the passage of light and air. It seems straightforward, doesn't it?
Pretty basic, yeah.
But that simple definition, it belies a much more complex reality of its function and its remarkable evolution. It's not just a passive void. It's an engineered interface.
And it's not just light and air either, is it? Our sources make a point of noting that windows sometimes allow the passage of sound.
Ah, yes. That's important.
Which, if you think about it, can be a real benefit, right? Like hearing the gentle rustle of leaves or birds chirping on a quiet morning.
Or a drawback.
Exactly. It can also be a significant drawback, like being subjected to constant city traffic noise or maybe a neighbor's loud party. So they're not just about visual and atmospheric passage, but auditory too. It creates this complex interaction with the external environment.
And that highlights that their role is about controlled interaction.
Controlled, yes.
That's a crucial point. Windows are designed to provide controlled, natural illumination and ventilation. It's not just a passive opening.
It's active.
They're engineered to manage the inflow of these elements, allowing us to regulate our indoor environment for comfort, health, and energy efficiency. This moves far beyond simple utility, elevating them to active participants in shaping our interior climate and sensory experience.
Like how a window placed just right can draw in cool breezes.
Exactly. Or funnel natural light deep into a room, reducing the need for artificial lighting or air conditioning. It's smart design.
And it goes even further than that. Windows are also a huge aesthetic and architectural contributor. They provide controlled natural characteristics to buildings, which is a really elegant way of saying they fundamentally define a building's look and feel, both
Yep.
inside and out.
They really do shape the character.
Think about it. The distinct look of a grand Victorian house, maybe with its ornate, often vertically oriented multi-pane bay or double-hung windows, it speaks of a certain era, right? A particular craftsmanship.
Absolutely. Very distinct.
Compare that to a modern minimalist structure, which might feature these expansive single-pane picture windows that almost blur the lines between inside and out, emphasizing clean lines and openness.
A completely different feel.
The choice of window isn't just functional, it's a deliberate statement. It reflects the architectural era, the building's overall character, even the philosophy of the space. They make a major contribution to the visual appearance of a building, profoundly impacting its perceived weight, openness, and connection to its surroundings.
They are, in many ways, the eyes of a structure.
That's a great way to put it.
Precisely.
Yeah.
The rhythm and proportion of windows on a facade can convey anything from, say, stoic formality to playful whimsy. They are absolutely integral to architectural identity.
Okay, but here's where our source material gets truly unexpected and perhaps a little mind-bending.
This part, yeah.
This is where it gets really interesting. Our sources, under the heading General Characteristics of a Window, start listing things that, to be honest, initially sounded like they were talking about two very different kinds of windows. One you look through, the physical architectural kind we've been discussing, and one you look at on a screen, like on your computer or phone.
It's a fascinating overlap, isn't it? This immediately raises an important question. Is this merely a coincidence, a cross-disciplinary overlap in terminology? Or does it hint at something deeper, a shared conceptual framework between physical openings and digital interfaces?
Right. What does it mean?
It suggests that the fundamental idea of a window, a defined viewing area that allows access to information or another space, might actually transcend its physical manifestation. Let's unpack these characteristics and see why this connection is so compelling.
Okay, let's do it. So the first one, name or title for allowing it to be identified. Okay, well, a physical window can certainly be identified by its type, a bay window, a casement window, maybe a picture window. That makes sense.
Sure.
But in the digital realm, every window on your computer screen has a title bar, doesn't it? A name. It's how you know what application or document you're looking at. It gives it a distinct identity in that sea of open programs.
Precisely. A perfect parallel. And then size and height, which can vary.
Okay, easy. Physical windows, from a tiny little bathroom vent to a massive glass curtain wall on a skyscraper. They vary hugely.
And digitally.
Same thing. You can resize digital windows, make them full screen, shrink them down to a tiny icon. The concept of scalable dimensions is fundamental to both.
Exactly. Now, this next one, this one really points towards the digital interpretation. State, accessible or not accessible.
This was the clincher for me. And the source explicitly says, only active windows can have their contents altered.
Right. Think about that.
I mean, what contents of a physical window are you altering? Are you changing the view outside? Not really. But on your computer, only the active window, the one you've clicked on and brought to the front, can have its text typed into, its buttons clicked, or its content scrolled.
That's pure, undeniable digital language. It reflects a fundamental principle of human-computer interaction. You interact with the active one.
No doubt about it.
A very strong indicator indeed. Then there's visibility, the portion that can be seen.
Okay, that applies to both, I guess. A physical window can be blocked by curtains, blinds, even an overgrown tree outside. And a digital window can be minimized, hidden behind other apps, or covered by another window on your screen. Both deal with the concept of obscured or revealed information or view.
True, applicable to both. But then number 5, location. Relative to the display boundary.
Yeah, see, how does a physical window relate to a display boundary? It just doesn't, not in the way we normally think of it.
But for a digital window.
Oh, absolutely crucial. Its precise location on your monitor, the display boundary, is key for how you interact with it. Are you docking it to the left side, centering it, maybe moving it to a second monitor? That's core desktop management.
This is unequivocally a direct reference to digital interaction. And number 6, presentation. It's arrangement in relation to other windows. This includes terms like tiled, overlapping, or cascading.
Classic computer terms?
Exactly. These are well-established terms for arranging multiple windows on a computer screen. You tile them to see several at once, you overlap them to prioritize one, or you cascade them for a neat, accessible stack.
You definitely don't tile your kitchen window next to your living room window in a house.
You certainly don't. And then methods of manipulation of the window in the screen.
Again, in the screen points directly to digital interfaces. You drag, resize, close, open digital windows with your mouse or trackpad. How do you manipulate a physical window in the screen? You don't.
It doesn't make sense physically.
And finally, the highlights. That is the part that is selected. Another direct reference to digital interaction where you highlight text, an icon, or a specific element within a window to indicate selection.
This fascinating overlap, it really suggests that the fundamental idea of a window that defined viewing area, allowing access to information or another space, it really does transcend the physical.
It's like a core concept.
It's a powerful conceptual metaphor that was clearly adopted by early graphical user interface designers, probably because it tapped into these deeply ingrained human cognitive models.
Like how we naturally think about looking through an opening.
Exactly. The human tendency to create and interact with physical openings, to peer into or access other spaces, was intuitively applied to the nascent digital realm. It's all about managing visual information and access, whether that's sunlight and fresh air or data and applications.
That's a truly brilliant connection. It bridges centuries of architectural innovation with the birth of modern computing. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Did the practical constraints and design solutions developed for physical windows, like, say, framing and mechanisms for opening, unconsciously provide a template for digital interface design?
Or was it something deeper?
Yeah, or was it more profoundly about a universal human desire to partition visual information, to create a focused point of access that informed both physical and digital window design?
It's almost certainly a synergy of both, I think. The concrete experience of physical windows, their boundaries, their ability to be opened or closed, their framing of a view, it offered a ready-made analogy for early software designers. They were trying to make complex digital environments intuitive.
They didn't have to invent a whole new concept.
Exactly. Humanity already understood what a window did. It's about establishing a clear boundary, a portal, whether it's into another room or into a software application. This highlights how deeply ingrained our spatial understanding is, influencing even abstract digital design.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it, how the same term can be so deeply relevant to objects across such disparate fields, from, a simple hole in a wall to the complex interfaces on our screens.
It really is.
But let's rewind time a little now, back to the purely physical world, and trace the actual evolution of the window through history. It's quite a journey, revealing how our understanding of comfort and technology has progressed over millennia.
Absolutely. Our source material begins way back in the prehistoric period, where the concept of a window was, in its most rudimentary form.
Barely a window at all, really.
The earliest windows were incredibly basic. They were simply unglazed openings in a roof or maybe high in a wall, designed primarily just to admit light during the day.
Like a primitive skylight.
Pretty much. Or a high vent.
Yeah.
Solely for illumination and perhaps a bit of smoke escaped from internal fires. Just a raw gap.
And you can immediately imagine the challenges, can't you? If it was raining, the rain came right in. If it was cold or windy, the elements came right in. Climate control would have been virtually impossible.
Definitely. So the next logical step in human ingenuity was finding ways to, protect the inhabitants. Over time, these openings progressed from simple holes to being covered with readily available natural materials. Things like animal hide, cloth, or wood.
Makes sense. Use what you have.
Right. This offered some protection from the elements, blocking direct wind and rain. But it also meant that while light could still be transmitted, it was very diffused, probably cast a dim, maybe reddish glow indoors.
Not exactly clear views.
Not at all. Ventilation was still poor, and maintaining internal temperature remained a constant battle. The primitive function here was a trade-off. You gain some basic protection against the harshness of the elements, but with significantly limited clarity of view.
And other problems too, I bet.
Oh, considerable challenges. Think about the constant battle against pests entering through uncovered openings, the difficulty of maintaining a stable internal temperature in extreme weather, or the ever-present fire risk if there was an open flame nearby with flammable animal hides for covering. It was really about survival and minimal comfort, not sophisticated design. The window was truly just a necessary evil back then.
Okay, so let's fast forward a bit. We start seeing some real innovation as civilizations developed, right? The ancient innovations section, especially with the Egyptians and Romans, shows how window design began to adapt to climate and advanced materials.
Absolutely. The Egyptian period, for example, really shows an adaptation of window design to their hot, arid climate. They were quite clever.
How so?
Well, they demonstrated a remarkable understanding of passive cooling, A primary design feature in Egyptian architecture was the use of open interior courts.
Ah, courtyards.
Yes, these central courtyards, often surrounded by rooms, allowed indirect light and air to filter into the surrounding spaces. This design optimized for their hot climate, preventing direct, harsh sun exposure while still ensuring ample, diffused illumination and promoting natural air circulation within the building.
Smart. And they were clever with air movement, too, weren't they? Moving beyond just simple openings.
They certainly were. They utilized roof ventilators, which were essentially wind-catching structures. Think of them as scoops, designed to direct prevailing winds down into the innermost rooms for passive cooling.
Like ancient air conditioning?
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
A sort of ancient, sophisticated natural air conditioning system, strategically channeling cooler air from above into the heart of the dwelling. A remarkable feat of environmental engineering for its time.
Very effective, I
A
imagine.
remarkably effective one that truly shaped their domestic comfort. And we also see the appearance of clerestory windows during this period.
Clerestory, what are those exactly?
These were windows placed high in the wall, often seen in grand structures like temples or large houses. They were designed to capture light and air above eye level.
Ah, so bringing light deeper into big rooms.
Precisely. Bringing illumination into deeper, taller spaces where direct ground-level windows might not reach, or maybe would compromise privacy. This shows a sophisticated understanding of natural light penetration and air circulation within multi-story or grand structures, illuminating vast interiors without sacrificing wall space or security at ground level.
So these Egyptian innovations weren't just about making holes. They were about optimizing natural resources, light, air for comfort and functionality within their specific climate and architectural needs, creating livable, sometimes grand spaces in challenging environments.
Exactly. They engineered their buildings to work with the environment rather than just fighting against it. Their innovations laid a foundation for managing light and airflow passively.
Okay, so then we get to the Romans.
Yes, the Roman period. This marks an absolutely monumental leap forward. The dawn of glass and windows. This truly revolutionized what a window could be.
Glass, finally. The source says the Romans made the significant discovery of adding manganese oxide to the mixture made clear glass, albeit with poor optics.
That's such a crucial detail, the poor optics.
Right. What did poor optics really mean for someone looking through it back then? How did it compare to what we experience today with modern glass?
Well, poor optics meant that the glass wasn't perfectly clear, flat, or uniform like our modern float glass. It would have appeared wavy, often distorted, and typically possessed a greenish or brownish hue due to impurities and the limitations of early glass manufacturing processes.
Like looking through an old bottle.
Exactly. Imagine looking through the bottom of a very old, uneven bottle, but on a larger scale. While light would pass through, the view would be significantly warped and indistinct. You wouldn't be admiring a crisp landscape. You'd be seeing blurry shapes and muted colors.
Functional, but not pretty.
Functional for admitting light and keeping out the elements, yes, but definitely not for enjoying a pristine, unblemished view like we're used to.
Still, it was revolutionary. Despite its flaws, it was a massive step forward. Our source says they were the first to combine both glass and wood in a single frame.
That's a huge leap from animal hides or cloth. Suddenly, you have a truly sealed opening that still lets in light.
It was indeed a monumental leap. The ability to create a sealed, transparent barrier that still allowed light to flood into interiors was a game changer for building design and human comfort.
Totally changed things.
It allowed for much greater control over indoor environments, effectively protecting from cold, wind, and rain, while still maintaining illumination and a visual connection to the outside. This fundamentally changed how buildings could be designed.
Allowing for larger openings.
Exactly. Larger openings without sacrificing warmth or protection, and enabling the creation of more versatile and comfortable interior spaces. However, these early framed windows weren't perfect. They were often supported by metal bars, making them quite heavy.
Why the metal bars?
Well, it was due to the limitations of glass manufacturing. They could only produce smaller, thicker, and less structurally sound panes, so they needed additional support to prevent breakage and maintain integrity.
They're probably expensive too.
Oh, absolutely. The cost of this early glass was considerable, meaning these glass windows were largely a luxury. You'd find them in the homes of the wealthy and in public buildings like bathhouses, rather than common dwellings.
So if we connect this to the bigger picture, the Roman period marks a pivotal shift. They weren't just covering a hole anymore. They were engineering a sophisticated barrier.
Right.
That poor optics glass, despite its imperfections, was a revolutionary material that really laid the groundwork for everything we see today. It enabled true indoor-outdoor connections in a way that had never been possible before, paving the way for more comfortable, well-lit, and versatile interior spaces. It fundamentally changed the architecture of daily life, at least for those who could afford it.
Speaking of sophistication and engineering, let's fast forward again maybe to the modern window and peel back the layers to understand its anatomy. When you look at a window, you might just see glass and a frame, but there's a whole lot more going on under the surface, isn't there?
There really is. It's a complex assembly of interconnected parts, each playing a vital role. Absolutely. There's an intricate network of components working in concert. Our source material provides a detailed breakdown of these parts, and understanding them gives you a real appreciation for the precise engineering that goes into a functional, weather-tight, and aesthetically pleasing window. It's quite a marvel of both structural integrity and environmental control.
It's like a small, highly specialized ecosystem, isn't it? Every single piece has a crucial job, and they all have to work in harmony for the window to do its job properly. You know, keeping the elements out, letting light in, and providing ventilation when needed.
Perfectly put.
So let's start from the very top. What do we have there?
Okay, at the very top of the window assembly, you have the head. This is the top horizontal member of the window frame.
Just the top piece of the frame.
Well, it's more than just a piece of wood or vinyl. It's often a critical load-bearing component, responsible for supporting the weight of the wall structure directly above the opening. In construction, this is often a reinforced beam, or what's called a lintel, designed to safely distribute that weight, preventing the wall from collapsing onto the window. Its integrity is fundamental to the structural stability of the entire opening.
Okay, crucial. Then you have the entire frame itself. That's the outer structure that holds the whole window assembly together and installs it into the wall opening, right?
That's the one. For anyone who's ever had a window replaced, you know the frame is that crucial element that anchors the entire unit. But it's more than just a box. It's a critical thermal break and structural support.
And the material matters hugely, I assume.
Oh, profoundly. The choice of frame material, whether it's traditional wood, low-maintenance vinyl, incredibly durable fiberglass, or sleek aluminum, has huge implications for your home's energy efficiency, its long-term maintenance needs, and even its overall lifespan. Each material offers a different balance of insulation, cost, and aesthetic.
Okay, now inside that frame, especially if the window opens, you have the sash. What's that exactly?
The sash is essentially the movable panel of the window that holds the glass. Think of it as the individual unit that slides up, slides horizontally, or swings open. It's the part you interact with directly to operate the window. Its design is key to how easily the window opens, closes, and locks.
Got it. And obviously within that sash, you have the glass panes, also called glazing.
The main event, really, the transparent part you look through. But modern glazing is far beyond simple sheets of glass.
Oh yeah, like double glazing.
Double or even triple glazing, yes.
Yeah.
But also sophisticated technology. Many contemporary windows feature layers of low-E coatings. These are microscopic, transparent metal layers applied to the glass.
What do they do?
They selectively block infrared and UV light, dramatically improving energy efficiency by reflecting heat out in summer and reflecting heat back in during winter.
Wow.
Furthermore, many also feature inert gases like argon or krypton, sealed between multiple panes. This creates a denser thermal barrier that significantly reduces heat transfer. These aren't just minor additions. They're sophisticated material science transforming a passive window into an active climate control element.
Okay, that's impressive. Now, sometimes you see windows divided into smaller sections by bars. What are those called?
Those are grills, sometimes called muntins. Historically, these were actually essential structural components because glass couldn't be manufactured in large single sheets back in the day. So multiple small panes would be held together by these bars.
But now
They're largely decorative. They're designed to give a window a traditional, classic, or specific architectural look, like a colonial style. They could be inside the glass panes, between the glass, on the surface, or sometimes still truly dividing the panes, though that's less common for efficiency reasons.
Okay. And for security and keeping the window shut tight?
That's the sash lock. This is the mechanism, typically a lever or a cam, that secures the movable sash firmly in a closed position against the frame. Simple in concept, but absolutely essential for both safety, preventing unwanted intrusion, and for energy efficiency, ensuring a tight seal that prevents air leaks and drafts.
Right. You need a good lock. And if you have a window that slides up and down like a double hung?
You'll often find a lift. This is usually a small integrated handle or maybe a recessed groove on the bottom edge of the sash, designed to aid in opening and closing the window. It just provides a convenient grip point, making it easier to raise or lower the often surprisingly heavy sash.
Makes sense. Okay, moving to the trim around the window on the inside of the house. What's that called?
That's the casing. This is the decorative trim that surrounds the window frame on the inside, covering the rough gap between the window unit itself and the finished wall surface, like drywall or plaster.
So it makes it look finished.
Exactly. It's crucial for aesthetics, seamlessly blending the window into the room's interior design, but it also helps to seal against minor drafts that might sneak around the frame.
And that little shelf at the bottom on the inside where people put plants sometimes.
Ah, yes, that's the stool. This is the interior trim piece that forms that small horizontal shelf at the very bottom of the window. It's frequently confused with the sill, but the stool is an interior, usually flat surface.
Okay, stool inside, sill outside.
Generally, yes. And directly below that stool, still on the interior, is the apron, which is the decorative trim piece that sits just below the stool, running horizontally along the wall. It visually completes the interior finish and provides a nice base for the window opening.
Got it. So the sill then, that's the bottom part on the outside.
Correct, or the very lowest horizontal part of the window frame itself. The sill is a critical component for weatherproofing. It's almost always sloped downwards and away from the house.
Why the slope?
That slope is a testament to centuries of trial and error in building science. A flat sill would act like a tiny dam, trapping rainwater against the window and wall. This would inevitably lead to rot, deterioration of the wood or frame, water leaking into the wall cavity, and eventually structural failure below. That simple, elegant slope is actually a brilliant piece of passive engineering, silently directing rainwater away from the house, ensuring the window and wall's longevity. A single design flaw there could lead to extensive damage over time.
Wow. Okay, the slope is important. What about the sides of the window frame?
The main vertical side pieces of the window frame, running from the head up top down to the sill at the bottom, are called the jambs. They provide the structural sides of the opening and often contain the tracks or channels that guide the sashes when they operate.
Okay, jambs are the sides of the main frame. And inside the movable part, the sash.
Similar to the jambs for the main frame, within the movable sash itself, you have the stiles. These are the vertical side members of a sash. They give the movable part of the window its structural integrity and provide the framework for the glass panes.
Head, sill, jambs, stiles. Got it. Anything else?
One more key part, the stops. These are small strips, usually wood or vinyl, often integrated into the frame or jambs. They hold the sash in place within the frame, ensuring it operates smoothly within its designated track, prevents rattling, and creates a tight seal against drafts when the window is closed. They're essential for precise operation and preventing air leakage.
Phew. That's a lot of parts.
It really is. This level of detail truly emphasizes the complex engineering involved in even a common window. Each component contributes not just to the window's operation, but also to its structural integrity, energy efficiency, security, and overall longevity.
They are all interconnected, aren't they?
Absolutely. And the failure or poor design of just one part can compromise the performance of the entire unit. It's a testament to centuries of refinement in building technology, driven by that constant human desire for greater comfort and protection from the elements.
Absolutely. It's definitely a lot more than just a piece of glass and a wall, right? And speaking of complexity and variety, the sheer diversity of window types out there, each designed for a specific purpose or aesthetic, is just astonishing. It's certainly not one size fits all.
That's absolutely right. Windows are designed with specific opening mechanisms and architectural purposes in mind. Each offers distinct advantages and really shapes the character of a space. Let's start by looking at how they open, because that dictates so much of their functionality.
Okay, sounds good. First up, maybe the horizontal slider windows.
Good place to start. These are pretty straightforward, as the name suggests. They glide left or right along a track, usually with one fixed pane and one or two moving sashes.
Easy to operate.
Very easy operation, and great for bringing in natural light and fresh air. You often see these in modern homes, especially in wider spaces, or perhaps where a swinging window might obstruct foot traffic, like over a kitchen sink, or sometimes in basements. They offer a simple, clean aesthetic, but typically only open about half their total width at most.
Okay. What about awning windows? I always like those.
Awning windows are interesting. They're hinged at the top and open outward from the bottom, creating a sort of awning over the opening, hence the name.
And that's good for rain, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
This unique design is fantastic because it allows air circulation and ventilation even when it's raining moderately. as the top hinged pane directs rain away from the opening below. They usually come with an easily removable screen on the inside for pest control and are often wider than they are tall. This makes them ideal for providing light and air in small, high spaces like bathrooms or above kitchen counters, or sometimes placed high on a wall for privacy. Their controlled ventilation and protection from the elements are key advantages.
So their inverse, in a way, would be hopper windows.
Pretty much, yes. Hoppers are typically hinged at the bottom and open inward from the top, although sometimes they can be top-hinged to open inward too. You often find them in basements or maybe small bathrooms.
More for ventilation than view.
Primarily, yes. They're mainly used as air vents, providing ventilation at a low level, which is particularly useful for exhausting humid air or odors from those spaces. Their primary function is practical airflow rather than providing an expansive view.
Okay. Now, a more unique one mentioned is the pivot window. What's that about?
Pivot windows are less common in standard homes, but architecturally interesting. This is essentially a specialized variation of a casement window, but instead of hinging on the side, it rotates from the middle, either vertically or horizontally, around a central pivot point within the frame.
So it spins in the middle.
Basically, yes. This allows for controlled airflow from both sides of the pivot and can be visually striking, making a bold architectural statement. While less common residentially, they are sometimes found in contemporary designs or commercial buildings where their unique operation and aesthetic are desired. They can also make cleaning the outside easier from the inside.
Interesting. And then we have the classic single casement window, probably one of the most common operating windows.
Definitely one of the most common types. It opens on a hinge along one side, swinging outward, just like how a door operates. It's simple, reliable, and offers excellent direct ventilation because the entire window opening can be exposed when fully open.
Good for catching a breeze.
Exactly. You can angle it to direct breezes into a room very effectively. Plus, their tight compression seal when closed and locked makes them highly energy efficient, generally more so than sliders or double hungs.
And building on that, there are double casement windows, sometimes called French casement windows.
Yes, just like French doors, but for windows. These involve two individual casement sashes that are hinged on opposing sides, one on the left and one on the right, within the same frame.
So they open from the middle.
Correct. They open up completely from the center, usually without a central post or mullion in between. This allows for a wide, totally unobstructed opening, which is fantastic for maximizing airflow, creating an expansive view, and also facilitating easy cleaning of both sides from the inside. They offer a really grand, open feel to a room.
Now, here's one that might evoke some nostalgia for older homes, especially in warmer climates. The jalousie window, or louvered window.
Ah, the jalousie, yes.
Yeah.
A very distinctive design. They're composed of parallel glass, acrylic, or sometimes wooden louvers slats, basically, that are set in a frame. They all pivot open simultaneously, usually operated by a crank, much like Venetian blinds tilt.
Great for airflow, I imagine.
Excellent airflow. The louvres tilt open, allowing for fantastic ventilation, often even in light rain, while still maintaining a degree of privacy because you can angle them. Historically very popular in tropical and subtropical regions before air conditioning became widespread. They provide a unique blend of ventilation and light control.
Okay. Then we have the familiar single-hung window. What's the key difference there?
A single-hung window is a type of window with two sashes, stacked vertically, but only the bottom sash is operable. It slides vertically upwards, while the top sash remains fixed in place.
So only half opens.
Essentially, yes. Ventilation only occurs through the bottom opening. This limits the direct airflow compared to a casement or double hung, but they are a very common and often more cost-effective choice for many homes due to their simpler mechanism and traditional aesthetic.
Which brings us naturally to the double hung window. Very common, especially in traditional architecture.
Extremely common and versatile. This is a double sash window where both the top and bottom sashes can slide independently up and down within the frame.
Much more flexible for ventilation, right?
Far more versatile ventilation control, yes.
Yeah.
You can open just the top sash, just the bottom sash, or open both simultaneously by a few inches. Opening both can create a natural convection effect, allowing warm, stuffy air near the ceiling to escape from the top opening, while cooler, fresh air enters through the bottom. This makes them excellent for airflow regulation.
And easier to clean.
Often, yes. Many modern double hungs feature tilt-in sashes, allowing you to clean the exterior glass surface safely from inside the house, which is a huge convenience, especially for upper floors.
It really is fascinating how each opening mechanism is optimized for different needs, whether it's specific ventilation requirements, ease of cleaning, security considerations, or simply the aesthetic it creates for the building?
Absolutely. The choice of opening mechanism fundamentally impacts a room's comfort, security, and visual flow. It's a key decision in window selection, not just an afterthought.
Okay, so that covers how they open. But beyond the mechanisms, windows also come in specific architectural and decorative forms that serve different purposes and can profoundly enhance a home's design, often becoming a real focal point.
That's right. These types are often defined more by their shape, placement, or function rather than just how they operate.
Maybe my personal favorite is the picture window.
Ah, the frame for the view.
Exactly. It's just what it sounds like. A fixed window, meaning it doesn't open at all. It's typically a single large pane of glass without any rails or muntins, those dividing bars, to obstruct the view.
Purely about the vista.
Its sole purpose is to frame an unobstructed picture of the outside surroundings, maximizing natural light and offering an expansive, uninterrupted vista. The primary trade-off, of course, is that while you get that maximum view and potentially excellent energy efficiency, because it's perfectly sealed, you get zero ventilation from that specific window.
So you need other windows for air.
Right. You'd choose this when the view is paramount, maybe overlooking a stunning garden, a picturesque lake, a mountain range, or a bustling cityscape. It allows the outside world to become like living art inside your home.
Then we have the ever-popular bay window, a classic feature.
Definitely adds character. Describe it for us.
A bay window is essentially a glass-sided recess in the home that dramatically protrudes outward from the main house's exterior wall. Typically, it forms a three-sided projection, often with a larger central window flanked by two smaller angled side windows, which might be fixed or operable like casements or double hungs.
It creates extra space inside.
It really does. Bay windows add valuable interior floor space, which can be transformed into a cozy reading nook with a built-in seat, a sunny breakfast area, or just extra display space. They significantly improve natural lighting by allowing light to enter from multiple angles throughout the day.
And the view.
Enhanced panoramic views due to their expanded perspective compared to a flat window. Plus, they can definitely increase a home's curb appeal and market value. They truly transform a flat wall into a dynamic, inviting, and architecturally distinctive space.
And closely related but distinct is the bow window. How is that different from a bay?
The key difference is the shape. While a bay window typically has three distinct flat, angled sections creating sharp corners, a bow window has a gentle, continuous curve or arc-shaped structure.
Somewhat more rounded.
Exactly. It creates a more rounded, elegant protrusion from the house. It usually features at least 4 windows, sometimes 5 or even 6, all set at slight angles to create that smooth arc.
Does it offer similar benefits?
Yes, it shares similar benefits to bay windows.
Yeah.
More usable interior space, plenty of opportunities for decor or seating, improved lighting from its broad arc, better panoramic views, and potentially increased home value. It's really about the aesthetic difference, a softer, more sweeping curve versus the angularity of a bay window, often seen as a slightly more traditional or grand look.
Okay, curved versus angular. Got it. Finally, in this category, we have the gable window. Where do you find those?
A gable window is a window specifically placed in the gable itself. A gable is the triangular part of a wall that encloses the end of a pitched or sloping roof. You typically find gables at the ends of a house.
So it's in that triangle shape under the roof peak?
Precisely. These windows are often ornamental gable windows, designed more for architectural accent, to break up a large expanse of siding or brick in the gable, and to bring some natural light into an attic space, a room with a vaulted ceiling, or an upper story space that might otherwise be dark and unused.
Do they come in different shapes?
They certainly can. They might be triangular themselves, following the roof line, or they could be round, oculus windows, half-round, arched, or even standard rectangular shapes, depending on the architectural style. They contribute significantly to the overall aesthetic and character of a home's roofline and facade.
Okay, that makes sense. So what does all of this mean for you, the listener? When you're choosing a window, maybe for a renovation, a new build, or even just appreciating the design of buildings around you, it's clearly not just about what looks good on the surface.
Not at all.
It's about understanding how it opens, what kind of ventilation it offers, what type of view it frames, how energy efficient it is, and critically, how it integrates with the overall architecture in the specific purpose of your space. It's about matching the right window type to its function and its place in the grand design.
Exactly. Each type has its specific niche and its functional advantages and disadvantages. The selection process should be a thoughtful balance of form, function, and environmental performance.
And once you have your windows, whether they're brand new or decades old, the next critical layer of design and functionality comes into play: window treatments.
Ah, yes, the finishing touch.
The art of adornment. Once you have a window, the next step is often to treat it, to add something: blinds, shades, curtains, shutters that enhances its functionality, provides privacy, or elevates its aesthetic. It's about taking that raw opening and meticulously customizing its relationship with the outside world and with your carefully curated interior space.
Indeed, window treatments serve a multitude of key functions, moving far beyond mere decoration, although that's important too.
Right. What are the main reasons we use them?
Firstly, and perhaps most obviously, light control. This is incredibly versatile. Treatments allow you to range from achieving complete blackout conditions, which is ideal for a restful bedroom or a home theater.
Essential for sleeping in.
Absolutely. To diffusing harsh, glaring sunlight to create a soft, inviting glow in a living room, or simply filtering light gently while still maintaining a subtle view of the outside. The ability to precisely control natural illumination is paramount for comfort, mood, and protecting interiors.
Then there's privacy. That's a huge consideration, isn't it? Especially in cities or for ground floor rooms.
Huge. Whether you live on a busy street, have close neighbors, or just want to feel secure and secluded in your own home, treatments allow you to block unwanted views from outside. They give you that vital sense of personal space and intimacy.
Very important. And you mentioned energy efficiency earlier with window frames and glass. Treatments help too.
Very significantly in many cases. Energy efficiency is a major benefit. Many treatments provide a crucial layer of insulation. By creating an air pocket or an additional thermal barrier between the window glass and the room air, they help to significantly reduce unwanted heat gain during the hot summer months and minimize heat loss during the colder winter months.
So they can save you money.
They definitely can translate to tangible savings on your heating and cooling bills over time, making them a smart investment in both comfort and economy.
Okay, light, privacy, energy. What else?
Of course, aesthetics and style are a major, often primary factor for many people. Window treatments are an integral part of interior design, often serving as a significant visual element, even a focal point.
They add color and texture?
Exactly. They add texture, color, pattern, and elegance, complementing your furniture, flooring, wall colors, and overall decor. The right treatment can truly define the feel of a room, transforming it from, say, cozy and rustic with woven woods to sleek and modern with roller shades or panel tracks.
And I guess some might help with noise.
Yes. While less emphasized in the source, some treatments, particularly heavier fabrics like drapery or cellular shades, also offer a degree of sound dampening. They can help absorb external noise, contributing to a quieter, more peaceful indoor environment.
And finally, protection.
Crucial for preserving your valuable interiors. Protection from harmful UV rays. Direct sunlight, over time, can cause significant fading and damage to furniture upholstery, artwork, flooring, rugs, and even fabrics. Window treatments act as a vital barrier against these damaging rays.
Okay, so they do a lot more than just look pretty. With those multifunctional purposes in mind, let's explore the vast spectrum of styles and materials available. Our source lists quite a few. Where should we start?
Let's start with a real classic, shutters. These are often seen as a permanent fixture, installed either inside or outside the home, and instantly recognizable for their sturdy frames and louvered panels.
Like plantation shutters.
Exactly. Plantation shutters are a very popular style of interior shutter. Shutters offer an elegant, timeless design and, according to the source, can add considerable value to a home due to their durability, custom fit, and sophisticated appearance.
And they control light well.
Excellent control over light and privacy. You can tilt the louvers precisely to filter light, direct it upwards or downwards, or close them completely for near darkness and full seclusion. Their robust construction and classic character mean they tend to outlast trends or styles, making them a truly long-term investment that rarely goes out of fashion.
Okay, shutters are a big investment. What about something softer? Roman shades.
Roman shades are a beautiful and sophisticated option, offering a softer look than blinds or shutters. They're made from one continuous piece of fabric. When you raise them, the fabric forms crisp, horizontal folds that neatly stack up at the top of the window.
So fabric like drapes, but operates like a shade.
Precisely. They beautifully combine the soft fabric drapery with the functionality of a shade, offering both the elegance and warmth of fabric along with precise light and privacy control depending on the fabric chosen, from sheer to blackout. Their smooth raising and lowering mechanism makes them highly user-friendly, and they provide a very tailored, refined look.
Now, what about rooms that get blasted with sun, like a sunroom or a west-facing office?
For those situations, solar shade window treatments are often ideal. They're also sometimes known as window sunglasses, which is a pretty good description.
Window sunglasses, okay.
They have a unique semi-opaque weave design, usually made of vinyl-coated fiberglass or polyester. The key is their openness factor, which ranges typically from about 3% to 14%.
What does the openness factor mean?
It refers to how tightly the fabric is woven and thus how much light and view comes through. A lower percentage means a tighter weave, blocking more light and heat but reducing the view. A higher percentage lets in more light and preserves the view better but offers less glare and heat control.
So they block the heat, but you can still see out.
Exactly. They provide considerable light control, significantly reducing glare on screens and preventing heat buildup. They also offer excellent UV protection for interiors, but crucially, they preserve your view to the outside during the daytime. At night, however, the effect reverses. People outside can see in if your lights are on.
Ah, okay, good to know. What about the classic wood blinds? Still popular.
Very popular. A truly classic choice for windows. They're made of real wood, often durable hardwoods like basswood or sometimes bamboo. Like shutters, they are extremely durable and tend to outlast trends or styles, offering a natural warmth and enduring appeal.
They look good with wood floors and furniture.
Yes, they provide a warm look that beautifully complements other wood elements in a room. Furniture, flooring, trim, creating a cohesive and inviting atmosphere. And their adjustable horizontal slats give you precise, granular control over light direction and privacy. You can tilt them to bounce light off the ceiling, block direct sun, or close them tightly.
But real wood can be pricey and maybe not great in bathrooms.
Correct, on both counts. Which leads us to the highly practical and often more affordable alternative, faux wood blinds.
They look like wood but aren't.
Pretty much. They have the same look as real wood, often with convincing wood grain textures, but are typically made from durable PVC or a composite material. This makes them more affordable than real wood, and crucially, they are made from moisture-resistant materials.
So good for kitchens and bathrooms.
Exactly. They won't warp, crack, or fade due to humidity or direct splashes, unlike real wood, which can suffer damage over time in damp environments. This makes them an excellent choice for kitchens or bathrooms, laundry rooms, or any high-humidity area. They offer the aesthetic benefits of wood with enhanced durability and much easier maintenance, so you can just wipe them down.
Okay, practical. Now, if energy efficiency is the absolute top priority, our sources point to cellular shades. What makes them so special?
Cellular shades, also known sometimes as honeycomb shades, are widely considered the best insulators and most energy-efficient window treatments available on the market today.
So how much can they really impact your energy bill, and how do they actually work?
Their unique design features fabric honeycomb cells. Imagine looking at the shade from the side. You'll see these distinctive pockets or tubes, like a honeycomb structure. These cells actively trap air between the window glass and the room's interior air.
Like an insulating blanket of air.
Precisely. That trapped air creates an insulating thermal barrier. This significantly reduces unwanted heat gain in the summer and heat loss in the winter, acting almost like a miniature double-pane window right there in your window covering.
Do they come in different levels of insulation?
Yes. They often come in single-cell or double-cell constructions, with double cells generally offering more insulation. Depending on the size and number of cells and the fabric type, they can provide a substantial R value that's the measure of thermal resistance. This can lead to tangible energy savings, sometimes reducing heat transfer through the window by up to 40 or 50% in extreme conditions compared to an untreated window. They are a very practical and effective choice for climate control and long-term utility savings.
Wow, that's significant. Okay, shifting aesthetics a bit, what about bringing a more natural, earthy feel indoors?
For that, woven wood shades are a fantastic option. These are crafted from various natural materials like grasses, reeds, bamboo, jute, or other natural fibers. These materials are woven together to create a beautiful, organic, and richly textured look.
They sound lovely. Do they offer privacy?
They naturally filter light quite beautifully, creating dappled patterns. On their own, they might offer moderate privacy. However, you can easily customize them. The source mentions you can add liners to increase privacy or include room darkening features, so you can get a light filtering liner for daytime privacy or a blackout liner for bedrooms, making them quite versatile despite their naturally permeable appearance. They instantly add warmth and a touch of the outdoors to any room.
Okay, now for really big windows like sliding glass doors or maybe huge picture windows, traditional blinds might look a bit busy.
That's where panel track blinds come in. They're an excellent modern solution for covering large expanses of glass. They feature a series of wide fabric panels, much wider than vertical blind slats that glide smoothly horizontally along a multi-channel track mounted at the top.
Like sliding fabric panels.
Exactly. They stack neatly to one side when open, providing an unobstructed view, and overlap slightly when closed. They provide optimal light control and privacy for wide openings, where traditional vertical blinds might feel too narrow or cumbersome, or horizontal blinds would be impractical. Their sleek design offers a very clean, contemporary aesthetic, making them a popular choice for minimalist or modern interiors, covering patio doors or large windows.
Got it. What about one of the most maybe basic and affordable options? Roller shades.
Yes, roller shades are often cited as one of the most affordable window treatments. Their mechanism is simple. A sheet of fabric rolls up neatly onto a tube at the top of the window when raised, often operated by a cord loop, a continuous chain, or even cordless or motorized systems.
They almost disappear when they're up.
They do. They provide a very clean, minimal look when fully raised, giving you an unobstructed view. When lowered, they provide a smooth, flat surface of fabric. They're incredibly versatile because they're available in a huge range of fabrics, colors, patterns, and crucially, blackout and light filtering options. You can get sheer weaves, light filtering fabrics, room darkening materials, or complete blackout fabrics, all within the simple roller shade format. Their simplicity makes them a very adaptable and cost-effective choice for almost any room.
Okay. How about something a bit more elegant, maybe combining sheers and blinds?
That sounds like sheer shades. These are often described as an elegant window covering. They feature a unique construction. Two sheer fabric panels facing the room and the window, with horizontal fabric veins, like soft blind slats, suspended in between.
How do they work?
It allows for incredible light versatility. When the veins are tilted open, the view is preserved through the two layers of sheer fabric, allowing soft, beautifully diffused light to enter the room, almost like a traditional sheer curtain, but with more structure. When you close the veins, they flatten and overlap, providing room darkening, though usually not full blackout, and increased privacy.
So the best of both worlds.
They really aim to balance light, view, and privacy in one elegant package, creating a luxurious and often ethereal ambiance in a room.
Interesting. Now, similar in look sometimes to cellular shades, but different, are pleated shades. What's the distinction?
Pleated shades are made from a single piece of fabric that is crisply folded into permanent pleats, usually around 1 or 2 inches wide. Like cellular shades, these pleats flatten neatly as the shade is raised, creating a compact stack at the top.
But just a single layer of fabric.
Correct. Unlike the honeycomb structure of cellular shades, pleated shades are just that single layer of pleated fabric. This means they don't offer the same high level of insulation as cellular shades. Aesthetically, they provide a slat-like look similar to blinds, but with the continuous softness and texture of fabric. Because they are a single layer, they typically allow a considerable amount of light to filter through, unless a specific room-darkening fabric is chosen. They offer a refined, tailored aesthetic with their clean, accordion-like folds.
Okay, and finally, perhaps the most traditional treatment of all, drapery.
Absolutely. Drapery, or curtains, adds style and elegance to your home like few other treatments can. They provide robust light control and privacy, especially when using heavier fabrics or liners.
They hang vertically, obviously.
Yes, the fabric panels hang vertically from a rod or track, usually mounted above the window. The possibilities are almost endless with drapery. They can be tailored to your desired window treatment length, from just below the sill cafe curtains to hitting the floor precisely, or even puddling gracefully on the floor for a more luxurious look.
Huge variety in fabrics and styles.
Incredible versatility in design. You can choose from sheer, light filtering, room darkening, or blackout fabrics, countless colors and patterns, different heading styles like pinch pleats, grommets, rod pockets that affect how they hang. You can go from casual and airy sheers to highly formal and opulent layered velvet drapes. They truly complete the aesthetic of almost any room and can dramatically alter its perceived height and grandeur.
Ew, that's an amazing range of options. So what does this all mean for you, the listener, when you're faced with a bare window? The world of window treatments is incredibly vast and nuanced.
It really is.
It's clearly not just about covering a window. It's about customizing a light, ensuring privacy, potentially boosting energy efficiency, managing sound, protecting your interiors from UV damage, and critically, transforming the entire feel and aesthetic of a room. The right treatment, thoughtfully chosen, can truly elevate and personalize any space.
It's about achieving that perfect balance of function and form, providing a critical layer of environmental control and aesthetic refinement to any interior, shaping the very atmosphere of your home.
Absolutely. And speaking of precision and getting things right, whether you're specifying a brand new window or ordering custom treatments, accuracy in measurement is absolutely paramount, as our sources really highlight.
Couldn't agree more. This brings us to practical considerations, measurement and supply. The importance of precise measurement for computation of consumption and cost estimating, basically. Figuring out what you need and how much it will cost simply cannot be overstated.
Get it wrong, and you're looking at ill-fitting products, right? Wasted materials, costly reorders, and immense frustration. It really is the foundation of any successful window project.
Accurate measurements are fundamental, impacting functionality, aesthetics, and cost. Our source highlights a pretty comprehensive list, 13 specific measurements. On the surface, that might seem excessive for just one window.
13. Wow.
But understanding why each one is needed truly underscores the complexity and the potential for error. This immediately raises an important question. Why so many measurements for something that seems so straightforward, like a rectangle?
Exactly. It's clearly far more than just taking a single width and a single height. Let's break them down and understand the necessity of each one. First, the source says measure the left of window to nearest obstruction. Why is that needed?
This is critical for any treatment that might extend beyond the window frame itself. Think about curtain rods needing space for decorative finials, or blinds or shutters needing room to stack or open without hitting an adjacent wall, a tall piece of furniture, a bookshelf, or even another window frame nearby. You need to ensure they don't hit anything, which would impede their function or even prevent proper installation.
Okay, clearance space. Makes sense. Then, for the actual window opening itself, window opening width, inside at top, middle, and bottom. Why, 3 width measurements.
This is absolutely non-negotiable, especially for inside-mounted treatments. Why? Because no wall opening, even in a brand new high-quality home, is ever perfectly plumb, level, and square. Over the span of a window, you might find a subtle bow in the middle where it's wider or narrower, or a slight tapering from top to bottom.
So the width might not be consistent.
Exactly. If you only measure once, say at the top, you risk ordering a window or blind that's either too wide to fit at the narrower bottom point or too narrow in the middle, leaving unsightly gaps that compromise insulation, privacy, light control, and the overall aesthetic. It's those millimeters or fractions of an inch that make all the difference between a seamless, professional-looking installation and a costly headache. You typically use the narrowest width for ordering inside mount blinds.
Ah, okay, use the narrowest point. Good tip. What about molding to molding?
Those measurements, both horizontally and vertically, are usually needed for treatments that are mounted outside the window frame covering the trim molding. Things like drapes that need to span the entire visual width, or maybe certain types of valances or cornices. This ensures proper coverage over the window trim and helps achieve aesthetic balance, so your treatments don't look awkwardly undersized or oversized in relation to the whole window unit, including its trim.
And similar to the left side, you also need the right of window to nearest obstruction.
Correct. Same reason as the left side, ensuring vital clearance space. You need to make sure your chosen treatment has enough room to operate fully, extend properly, or stack back neatly without hitting anything on the right side either. It's all about ensuring unhindered movement and visual symmetry.
Okay. Now, what about vertical measurements? Ceiling to window opening.
This is particularly important for treatments that might hang from or near the ceiling, or if you're considering very tall options like floor-to-ceiling drapes or panel tracks. This measurement helps determine precisely how high you can mount the rod or track above the window opening itself and ensures the treatment hangs correctly, avoiding awkward gaps at the top or too much fabric puddling on the floor if that's not the look you want.
And just like the width, you need multiple height measurements too. Window opening length, left, right, and middle for wide windows.
Yes, for the same reason as the multiple width measurements. Just like walls aren't perfectly square horizontally, windowsills and heads aren't always perfectly level vertically, especially on wider openings or in older homes. The height can vary slightly from the left side to the right side. Taking multiple height measurements, left, center, right, ensures a precise fit, preventing your blinds or shades from appearing crooked or leaving an uneven gap at the bottom sill when lowered. For inside mounts, you'd typically use the shortest height.
Shortest height, narrowest width for inside mounts. Got it. Then, for interior trim specifically, top of molding to sill.
That gives you a specific height reference point if you want drapes or shades that are intended to stop precisely at the windowsill, rather than going below it or to the floor. It allows for a very clean, tailored look, especially in kitchens or bathrooms.
And top of molding to bottom of molding.
You might need this dimension if you're dealing with window treatments that need to fit precisely within the visual frame created by the molding, or perhaps outside of it. For instance, an inside-mounted blind needs to clear the bottom molding when lowered, or a decorative valance might be designed to span exactly from the top of the top molding to the bottom of the top molding.
Okay. For long drapes, you need top of molding to floor. That seems obvious.
It does, but because floors themselves can also have slight variations, sloping, or unevenness, especially in older homes, it's highly advised to also measure the overall floor to ceiling, check at various points, in the room near the window.
Why floor to ceiling too?
This ensures your long treatments hang consistently. If the floor to ceiling height varies significantly near the window, you might need to adjust the rod height or hem length slightly to prevent the drapes from dragging awkwardly in one spot or looking too short in another. It avoids a common rookie mistake in window treatment installation, assuming the floor and ceiling are perfectly parallel.
Good point. What about the molding itself? Width of molding and depth of molding and/or window?
These are incredibly important, especially the depth. The depth measurement is crucial for inside mount treatments, those blinds or shades that fit entirely inside the window frame recess. You need to ensure there's enough flat, unobstructed depth from the front edge of the opening back towards the glass to accommodate the headrail or mechanism of the blind or shade without it interfering with the movable window sash, cranks, locks, or other components.
So it needs enough space to fit and operate.
Exactly. If the window depth isn't sufficient for the specific product you want, you might be forced into an outside mount, mounting it on the wall or trim above the window, which creates a completely different look and might not be what you wanted aesthetically. Knowing the depth is critical before you order.
Okay. And finally, number 13, which seems like a catch-all. Any additional measurement relevant to design of treatment?
Yes. That just emphasizes that every project can have unique needs or complexities. Maybe there's an obstruction partway down the window, or an unusually shaped opening. Being thorough and noting any custom details or potential issues is always best.
Wow. It really underscores why professionals are so meticulous. Missing even one of these measurements or getting it slightly wrong can lead to costly errors requiring returns if possible, refabrication, which costs time and money, or just ending up with a result that looks unprofessional or doesn't function properly.
Absolutely. It might seem tedious to take all these measurements, but these detailed steps truly save you significant time, money, and immense frustration in the long run for any home improvement project involving windows or their treatments. You know, this reminds me of a time I tried to measure for custom blinds myself for my first apartment.
Uh-oh. How'd that go?
Let me tell you, I thought I had it nailed. Just width and height, right?
Yeah.
Simple rectangle. I learned the hard way, when the blinds arrived, exactly why these 3 points of measure for both width and height are absolutely critical. My straight window opening was anything but. One blind was too tight to fit, the other had gaps. Lesson learned.
That's a classic scenario and exactly why professionals emphasize this thoroughness. The devil is truly in the details when it comes to windows and treatments, and precision is absolutely critical for a good outcome.
Couldn't agree more. Now, briefly on the topic of sourcing these components, our source material mentions that countries, naturally, have various suppliers for window and building components. For instance, it gives a specific example for the Philippines, citing major home improvement outlets like Wilcon Depot and potentially more specialized suppliers like U&K Uber and Construct.
And it notes that these suppliers typically offer both prefabricated components, meaning standard size, ready-to-install window units, or off-the-shelf blinds and various materials, which implies you can also source custom-sized windows, custom-assembled parts, or the raw materials if you're doing highly specialized work.
Right. This really highlights the broader implication, which applies anywhere in the world, the importance of choosing reputable suppliers, whether you're in the Philippines, the US, Europe, anywhere. It's vital to consider not just the initial purchase price, but also the quality of the materials used, the comprehensiveness of the product warranty, and critically, the availability and reputation of reliable installation services, especially for windows themselves.
Because a good window installed badly is
Not a good window in practice. A high-quality window that's poorly installed, not square, not sealed properly, will likely leak air and water, operate poorly, and fail prematurely, performing no better than a cheap one. Investing in a knowledgeable supplier and experienced certified installer ensures the longevity, energy performance, and aesthetic appeal of your significant window and treatment choices. It protects your investment.
Very wise advice. And that just about wraps up our deep dive into the fascinating world of windows and window treatments. We've certainly covered a lot of ground.
We really have. We've journeyed from those simplest unglazed openings in prehistoric roofs,
Just holes, really.
all the way to the complex multifunctional architectural elements, and even touching on those surprising digital interface parallels we call windows today, and of course the myriad of treatments that adorn and enhance them.
We've meticulously deconstructed their physical components, heads, sills, jambs, sashes, all of it. We've explored their fascinating evolution across civilizations, from Egypt to Rome and beyond. We categorized their diverse types based on those ingenious opening mechanisms, sliders, casements, awnings, double hungs, and their specific architectural forms like bay, bow, and picture windows.
And we delved deeply into that vast world of window treatments, shutters, blinds, shades, drapery, exploring how they enhance function, privacy, energy efficiency, and aesthetic appeal in so many different ways.
So what does this all mean for you, our listener? Hopefully the next time you look through a window, whether it's in your own home, at the office, maybe even when you interact with one on your computer screen, you'll see it differently. Not just as a simple pane of glass or a digital box.
What will they see?
Instead, perhaps you'll perceive it as a culmination of thousands of years of human ingenuity, of careful engineering, and thoughtful design. Each element, from the frame material to the type of glazing to the treatment chosen, is often thoughtfully crafted to connect us to the outside world, to help manage our indoor environment, to organize our digital information, or simply to frame a beautiful view.
It truly changes your perception, doesn't it, when you stop
Yeah.
and think about it? It makes you appreciate the profound thought and the technical evolution behind something we so often take completely for granted in our daily lives.
It absolutely does. And on that note, let's end with a final provocative thought for you to consider. How might future innovations in material science, maybe smart home technology, perhaps even artificial intelligence, continue to blur and redefine the lines between what a physical window can do and what a digital screen currently offers?
Ooh, interesting direction. Imagine a future where your physical window is also a dynamic, interactive display.
Exactly. Will our future windows seamlessly morph between being a completely transparent portal to the outside world and, say, a high-definition screen for a video call?
Or perhaps they could actively filter specific wavelengths of light based on the time of day or your activity, project real-time weather information subtly onto the glass, or even display augmented reality overlays of the buildings or landscape you're looking at.
All based on your needs or preferences at any given moment. The very concept of what a window is could be on the cusp of another monumental evolutionary leap, merging the physical and digital in ways we can only begin to imagine.
The possibilities are truly fascinating, aren't they?
They really are. So we encourage you, pay a little more attention to the windows around you, whether they're in your home, your office, or even on your devices. Take a moment to think about the stories they tell, the intricate functions they serve, and how they shape your experience of the world, both inside and out. You might be amazed at what new insights you uncover.